70 years ago, a journalist stood up for 4 African-American boys, later known as the Groveland Four, accused of raping a 17-year-old girl in Lake County. Mabel Norris Reese took great strides to report the truth despite threats against her life.
In January 2019, Governor DeSantis pardoned the 4 men and apologized to their families. And Reese was recently honored in the Mount Dora area where she lived. News 6 at 9's Carolina Cardona met up with a man who took it upon himself to remember her.
One of the bravest women in Florida history. She was the owner, editor, reporter for the Mount Dora Topic newspaper in the 1940s up till around 1960.
Gary McKechnie, in collaboration with artist Jim McNallis, has just unveiled this clay sculpture to honor the life of journalist Mabel Norris Reese.
Fewer than 10% of sculptures in America are dedicated to women. Fewer than 10%. Why isn't it 50-50?
We live in a culture where everybody knows the Kardashians, but nobody knows Mabel, and that's what we're doing. We're changing that, and it's bringing her into the light. When I heard about Mabel, it was based on Gil King's book.
Gilbert King's Devil in the Grove nonfiction book, based on the story about the Groveland boys, accused of raping a 17-year-old white woman, a crime the 4 African Americans were later pardoned for.
This is a time where segregation was deeply rooted in this area, especially in Florida.
The book also highlights Reese, who reported on the case in 1949.
She was taking her leads from the Sheriff Willis McCall, and she's believing everything he's telling her.
Until she found out the former Lake County sheriff shot 2 defendants in the case while transporting them to a new trial in 1951. One of them died, the other survived. That's when Reese realized her reporting had been wrong, so she began to expose what she found.
She is among those people who stand for a principle that they consider more important than their own well-being. And here was a woman standing alone, exposing a murderous sheriff in a community that wasn't necessarily behind her.
She even became a target of the Ku Klux Klan.
They burned a cross on her front lawn. They bombed her house. They murdered her dog. She said, if the Ku Klux Klan thinks this is going to drive me off, they've got the wrong lady. That's amazing. That's a person we should know about.
A person Jim describes as courageous, whose integrity deserves to be told through his art. The sculpture includes a brooch with the letters MR. It's actually the margin release key, which coincidentally are Mabel's initials, a key from the same typewriter she used to expose the truth.
What better time to celebrate women and give young girls, teenage girls, young ladies, women, just people in general, but especially women, a role model to look at.
That was Carolina Cardona. What a great story and a way to keep her legacy alive and, you know, a true journalist. And that's what it's really all about.
Yeah, that just shows, again, how important it is for free press and journalism exposing the truth there.